DonInLondon, hello, June 19th, 2009, and the time is 7:30 in the morning. What am I doing this video this time for? Anyway, my video is all about recovery from addiction to either substance or behaviour. My substance, alcohol, my behaviour, trying to be whatever you wanted me to be, trying to find out who I am on a daily basis for 30 odd years, and still not finding out. And I guess the idea these days for me is to find out who I am on a daily basis. That is, to be able to be a part of society, community, family. And what makes this possible when I used to be addicted to alcohol and my behaviour was not at its best by a long chalk and quite distorted by my view of the world, a view which was insular, excluding most people, and kept me isolated for a long time. So I'm on day 5 of a 5-day programme to deal with another condition I have besides addiction, which I got in recovery, and I've been recovered on a daily basis for over 5 years. So these days I have a life plan which is 1 day long, and when we have gone on a training course or an orientation, if you like, to another condition which we need to deal with, it also opens up the doors to maybe extending life a bit further for somebody like me. So I'm alive, and that's the gift of sobriety, and the gift of sobriety afforded me the luxury, if you like, to be normal, and normal meant that I was able to not only have recovery to deal with, but I got type 1 diabetes in recovery, and I also got properly diagnosed with clinical depression. So these days I'm just doing my best and being included in life. Sorry about the bells going off in the background, it was an alarm. So where am I today? Well, day 5. I feel a bit punch drunk, which is a strange thing to say when you're in a sober place, but it's been intensive, and being with people who are dealing with another silent killer, if you like, and I've learned so much from them as well as from the professionals running this program. So I'm extraordinarily grateful to be alive, so that I have type 1 diabetes, so that I know what I am dealing with clinical depression on a daily basis. So these days, when things are going wrong, I try and find and access the truth as best I can. What has helped me immensely is the fellowship of AA. It's a place where I go lean on people and share my truth and try to be open, honest and willing to change. And AA, I can't speak for it. Every person in AA is a unique and authentic person, same as me, just making each day work. So our life experience we share to find the wisdom to keep on going and make the day work and be a part of family, community and society. That's how it works. And it's a bit more complicated as we go along, because there are 12 steps of action for an individual, and 12 steps of action about being open, honest and willing, and then there are 12 traditions which hold the fellowship together. Noise is off this morning. So I go to AA, 720 meetings in London. How's it going today? Well, it's the end, it's the final day, so I guess after this there'll be some follow-up on how I am doing with type 1 diabetes, which is all to the good. So, recovery. AA meetings, there is a preamble shared at the beginning of every meeting, and it's a way of me slowing down into this one moment. And the preamble shared is about what is AA, and it says here, Alcoholics Anonymous is a fellowship of men and women who share their experience, strength and hope with each other, that they may solve their common problem and help others to recover from alcoholism. The only requirement for membership is a desire to stop drinking. There are no dues or fees for AA membership. We are self-supporting through our own contributions. AA is not allied with any sect, denomination, politics, organisation or institution, does not wish to engage in any controversy, neither endorses nor opposes any causes. Our primary purpose is to stay sober and help other alcoholics to achieve sobriety. And after my long day of intensive training, I did get to a meeting of AA last night called the After Eights, which is just at the back of Buckingham Palace over in Eaton Square, and it's all about what's it like to be sober after 8 years, and what are the issues in later sobriety. And funnily enough, the issues are the same whether you're on day 1 or day 8001. it's the same. How do we not drink one day at a time, knowing that if we take a drink, it will set off a craving. So one drink will not. Well, one drink will. I can't remember the saying, but it goes like this. Yeah. Doesn't matter. I've lost my thread, and that's a good thing. It means I'm tired out by what I've been doing. So, the fellowship meeting last night, really the most important message for me was this: no matter what happens in recovery, it's not about material wealth. And the promises of sobriety are that we can face life as it is, rather than bury our head in the sand or in a bottle. So the gift this week has been immense, and with all the things that have happened, hopefully my life plan one day at a time might last a bit longer. I've been frightened of using insulin to a large extent, because it causes the blood sugar to go down, and if it goes too far down it can cause real problems. So I've been running hot, as they say, slightly above where it needs to be as an average. And now I realise that I need not be afraid of the medication I have to take, even though overdoing the medication can quite literally kill me. It's like anything. So, like driving a car, go too fast and you'll end up dead. So, it's always the way, isn't it? We have to find the balance. And as somebody said to me, balance is something I know as I swing by. So from one end of the spectrum to the other, there is balance in the middle, and like a pendulum, that's me swinging by. There is balance, and sometimes I hang on to it and sometimes I miss it. But I share the daily reflections here, which is AA literature, and 12 steps of action. June is all about step 6, which is to deal with our defects of character. And mine is primarily too much fear, too much ego, and too much putting on a brave face. So I said at the course I'm attending at the beginning, I wanted to be honest, and halfway through I nearly wasn't. I was practically willing myself to be dishonest, to show that I had the right blood sugar levels. And of course you can't cheat with these things, and I don't know why it happens, but we want to look good, and so we might bend the truth, and there's no point. There's absolutely no point. Just tell the truth, do the proper thing, and it'll all work out pretty well okay. So the reading says AA regeneration. Such is the paradox of AA regeneration, strength arising out of complete defeat and weakness, the loss of one's old life as a condition of finding a new one. And that was the theme yesterday. Life changes completely because we're not a slave to the addiction. 1,000 Beatings by John Barleycorn, that's the inner voice which says, I'll do it tomorrow, or I'll stop doing it and I can do it on my willpower, did not encourage me to admit defeat. I believed it was my moral obligation to conquer my enemy friend, that is the enemy of alcoholism and the friend that alcohol had been all those years. At my first AA meeting, I was blessed with a feeling that it was right to admit defeat to a disease which had nothing to do with my moral fibre. I didn't do that on my first one. I wasn't a backslider. I just didn't get it straight off. I knew instinctively that I was in the presence of a great love when I entered the doors of AA. I was befuddled, and it took me a lot longer. With no effort on my part, I became aware that to love myself was good and right, as God had intended, or in good conscience, or as my family suggested. My feelings set me free where my thoughts had held me in bondage, and I am grateful. So, in all of that, the most important part is that last sentence. My feelings set me free, where my thoughts had held me in bondage. And for years, self-will, self-obsession, self-everything run riot, trying to make life work and be whatever other people wanted me to be, so it looked right. And now I find on a daily basis that my feelings help me be open, honest and willing to change, and deal with the fear. Try not to put on a brave face, and not utilise ego, and with any luck I can then have a bit more courage, a bit more faith, a bit more confidence to meet the day. So I lean on fellowship and the rest will follow. It won't always be good. It's joyful and sad as life can be. And the serenity prayer, God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference is always in my life plan, just for today.